Hi there, welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbao. Tonight, the knockout phase of the Women's African Cup of Nations is upon us, and it's the quarterfinals phase of it. Defending champion South Africa are true to the stage, and they delivered their best performance of the tournament to defeat Mali 4-0 in Wujuda on Monday to top Group C and set up a quarterfinal against Senegal. Now, Ghana, on the other hand, beat Mali into second place after defeating Tanzania by 4-1 in Berkane yesterday. But Mali also progressed to the quarterfinals as one of the two best third-place teams, together with Senegal at the expense of Botswana. Now, Mali will face host Morocco in the quarterfinals, while Ghana will face Algeria. Nigeria will play Zambia in the other quarterfinal. But a closer look at how each team's performed in the group stage will give us an idea of what to expect in the quarterfinals. Let's start with Group A. This is how it all unfolded in Group A. Morocco did top the group. They had 7 points, and they managed to stay unbeaten in the entirety of the group stage. Morocco are the host nation, and they managed to stay unbeaten in the entirety of the competition. They scored 7 and conceded 4. Indicating they do have a weak defense to some extent, but also make up for it with their attack and prowess. So they ended the group with 7 points. Then you have Zambia, another powerhouse, who have been coached by former Black Queens head coach Nora Huptel. They managed to come second. They also avoided defeat in the group phase and managed to finish the group 7 points. Same point with Morocco, but just sake of goal difference, why Morocco managed to top the group there. You also had Senegal, who did not live up to expectation. They only won 1 game in this group phase and ended up qualifying as one of the third best placed teams with 3 points. So in this group, you could tell that Morocco, Zambia proved to be the best in this group, while Senegal also followed closely. Then you go to Group B, and it gives you a very interesting picture in terms of the performance of the teams there. Look at it. Nigeria, they are the most successful team in this competition. They've won this competition over 10 times, and clearly they are one of the favorites as far as winning the competition is concerned. And you could tell from their performance in the group phase. They also managed 2 wins, 1 draw, and guess what? No team was able to score them in the group phase. They managed clean sheet in all their games in the group phase. And you could see scoring 4, conceding none, and managing 7 points in the process. Algeria, that's another surprising team in this competition. They also managed to advance to the quarterfinals, and look at the results there. They managed a win and 2 draws and 5 points apiece. And then you had Botswana, who also unfortunately missed out because their, performance as a third best placed team was not good enough. So in Group B, we saw Nigeria showing what they are capable of doing, as they have always done in the previous competitions, and Algeria also proving to be a very surprising team in this competition. They will be facing Ghana, and Ghana will have a lot of work to do. Then you go to Group C. That's where Ghana find themselves in. Now, South Africa, defending champions. They won the last edition and are strong favorites to win the competition this time round. Guess what? Look at it. They won their first game, of course, defeated Ghana 2-0. The second game against Tanzania, they drew 1-1. And then in the third game, they thumped Mali. They thumped Mali and managed to accrue 7 points in the process. Look at it. 1 goal conceded in the group phase, scoring 7 in the process. They have a very good attack in front and also very solid in defense. Then Ghana managed to get the second spot in that group after that heavy victory against Tanzania. They started very poorly against South Africa, losing 2-0. Then against Mali, they played 1-1. And then against Tanzania, in the second half, they managed to get 4 goals to win victory there. What is indicative here is they just look at Ghana's goal difference. They scored 5 and conceded 4. Ghana has a problem as far as their defensive solidity is concerned. But also, in the last game, they managed to improve upon the attack and prowess by scoring 4 goals. So going into the quarterfinals, clearly the Black Queens will have to work on their defense and also improve in the attack and prowess. Mali also managed to qualify as the third best placed team. They were a very decent side. If you look at the game they played against Ghana, they also managed to qualify with 4 points, and Ghana only got the second place because of goal difference. So is expected to be a very exciting quarterfinal. So let me just show you the path to the finals, because just look at it on your screen there. You can see over here. So you have Morocco playing Mali. Then you have Algeria playing Ghana. Now, the winners of these two tie so if Ghana manage to defeat Algeria, they will face either Morocco or Mali. And of course, familiar foe in Mali, Ghana will possibly want to face Mali. But whatever be the case, Ghana is going to face either Mali or Morocco. Now, then they advance to the semi-finals. Now, whoever emerges from the semi-finals here and makes it to the final is going to face either Nigeria, who will be playing Zambia, or they'll face South Africa, who will be playing Senegal. So that's the pathway to the final. And of course, you see the third place games also happening. So it promised to be an exciting quarterfinals, then all the way to the semi-finals and eventually the finals. And of course, is a new trophy for the Women's AFCON. The winner obviously is going to get their hands on the new Women's AFCON trophy. Now, Ghana forward Chantel Boy-Holker highlighted unity as one of the things that helped the team advance to the quarterfinals. Now, JoySports Lawrence Bedu was at the stadium yesterday and he got the opportunity to speak to her, and he has more.
Good news for the Black Queens, who have now secured a place in the quarterfinals of the ongoing 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Second half brilliance after being pegged to 1-1 in the first half meant that Kim Las Bjorke Grand side booked that slot that allows them to play in the last 8 of the competition. Goals from Pesla Edubia, Alice Kusi, Evelyn Bedu, and Chantel Boy-Holker have been the magic for the team as they make it into the next round of the competition. Midfielder Chantel hailed the performance of the whole team in the build-up to Ghana picking a 4-1 win.
I'm grateful. That's it. Truly grateful. I like the wing, but I like being involved. We've got a lot of talented players who can run up and down that wing, and they love being on the line. So I'm glad the coach put me in a position where I can be a little bit everywhere. So yeah, I'm glad I could be in a more familiar role for myself, and we got the job done. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm so happy. The playing in the match forward. We could give it to any of them girls out there today. I want to share it with everyone, but of course I'm taking it, of course. But that's for everyone. That's for the coaches, as I said outside, the staff, the players, everyone. So yeah, so thank you from everyone.
The win means that Ghana will now face Algeria in the quarterfinals of the competition on July 19. The Black Queens are hoping to do the unthinkable, secure a place in the semi-finals, and eventually move on into the last 2. From the Berkane Stadium, Lawrence Bedu for JoySports.
Well, Lawrence is still in Morocco, and we'll be touching base with him in our subsequent bulletins as we build up to that big quarterfinal game. But Ghana's ambassador to Morocco, Her Excellency Charity Gbadawo, was also at the stadium. And for her, she acknowledged that the payment of outstanding allowances to the Black Queens played a key role in boosting team morale ahead of that crucial match against Tanzania.
Yes, indeed. The last time we spoke, I told that we didn't start on a very good note. We started with 2-0 South Africa. In the second game, we drew and we were not too happy. But after I had an encounter with the girls, I realized that they were very optimistic and they raised my hope. And I was also very confident in them that they were going to make Ghana proud. And indeed, they have done that. You know, I told you earlier that they were having some challenges regard to their finance and things. But the Minister for Sports quickly intervened and dispatched the accounting officer to come and sort them out. So it also boosted their morale, you know, with the little support that the embassy also gave. So we are not surprised. We are grateful to God that we have made it. And I know that they are going to make Ghana proud. In Jesus' name.
Well, a big amen to that. It's the first time the Black Queens are playing in the quarterfinals of the competition in 9 years. So it's history that's beckoning for them if they make it to the semi-final. Away from that, to the Accra Sports Stadium now, where the Mexican ambassador to Ghana, Norma Ang Sanchez, paid a courtesy call on the Director General of the National Sports Authority, Yao Ampofo Ankara, at his office yesterday. The two toured the stadium and held discussions on a number of issues. Ebenezer Sadari of JoySports followed them and has more in this report.
The ambassador of Mexico to Ghana, Her Excellency Norma Ang Sanchez, paid a courtesy call on the National Sports Authority boss, Yao Ampofo Ankara. Her visit forms part of ongoing diplomatic efforts to explore opportunities that could transform Ghana's sports landscape.
We're very honored to have hosted the First Lady of Mexico, as you say here. As you know, Ghana is in a good position to qualify for the FIFA World Cup, which will be hosted by Mexico for the third time, the USA, and also Canada. And it's part of our build-up and countdown to the World Cup qualifiers that are coming in Accra against Mali and then later against Comoros, as well as to also close the gap in the cultural sports tourism arena. As you can see, the NSA is tilting more closer to sports tourism than we have in the past, and Mexico has a rich culture, rich history of culture. We share a lot of in common with Mexico: the people, the culture, sports, obviously, especially boxing and football.
Mr. Ankara describes the engagements as a positive step, reaffirming the NSA's commitment to preparing Ghana's stadiums and sports centers for the next round of World Cup qualifiers. These efforts, he says, are not only about football, but also giving fans who cannot travel abroad a chance to experience the ambience of the global showpiece right here at home.
The Mexican embassy have lined up a series of programs and countdown as towards the World Cup to make it more exciting, and Ghana is in their plans, and they're hoping that Ghana will be drawn in Mexico. You know, obviously a lot of countries where USA and Canada, they're all looking forward to Ghana being in their group because they realize the ambience, the wealth of fans, bars, networking, business opportunities, and a lot more that we're bringing, you know, sports tourism. So we're delighted to be part of that conversation, and this will be the first of many such engagements.
Both parties toured the stadium facilities, inspecting the pitch and discussing potential areas for improvement. For JoySports, I'm Ebenezer Sadari.
Now, we are some 25 days to the JoySports Invitational, and many more companies are signing up for this year's event. The event is bringing corporate Ghana together on August 9 at the University of Ghana Stadium for a day of friendly sport and activity and corporate networking. Sports and activities will include 100 meters race, football, volleyball, basketball, table tennis, lawn tennis, tag of peas, lime and spoon, and many more that will unfold at the University of Ghana Stadium. But here are some latest companies to have signed up for the competition, and registration is also still open, and you could check the Slack for some details on that. But some of the companies that have also signed: Christian Heritage University also have signed, Access Pension have also signed, and you could see that they've also signed. The Access Pension participated last year's event, and they've also signed. You've also got Premier Health Insurance. They returned to the competition after taking part last year, so they will be there on August 9. Then Royal Suite Limited, Ifiwara, have also signed up for the event, and we're looking forward to it on August 9. ARB Apex Bank are also going to be there. They are part of the companies that have signed up for it. And you've got the luckiest Star 712 Hash have also signed up for it. They were there last year and excited to take part in this year's event. Axis Pension are also there. Very vociferous group of individuals will also be taking part in this year's event. And Ayuda are also going to be there at this year's event. So those are some of the companies. Several others have also joined, and McDan Group, Amigo, Ghana have all joined, Piva Beverages, and as I said, registration is still open, and you can get more details even on myjoyonline.com. But let me take you to joining us all the way from Berlin, Germany, on the Club World Cup and how it was received in Germany. We have more stories for you on myjoyonline.com. Coming up next is PM Express, so please do stay tuned.